anything to say in a conversation. Not that you didn't want to be there or that you weren't a part of it. You just didn't have anything to contribute and would rather just listen. Now, I've traveled a lot in my life, and in that aspect, I've been pretty fortunate. But anytime we're deciding where we're going to go next, we all sit down and have a group discussion, but we never really go with what I pick. It's not because nobody cares or they don't listen to me. I just will genuinely enjoy going anywhere. My mom noticed this a couple months ago, and she said to me, "Em, I can't explain it, but you're always just here." Now, some may take this as some backhanded compliment or passive-aggressive way to get me to leave her alone, but I took it as a positive thing. In today's society, silence is a scarce resource, and I can only see the good in being a constant supplier. Today, I have the opportunity to share with you how to listen, the mistakes to avoid, and the benefits it'll give for your overall well-being. Whether you know it or not, you are a part of the conversation. In an article by Positive Psychology, they write about the different aspects of effective communication. Now, in this article, they talk quite a bit about the different parts of the conversation itself. There are 4 main types: the sender, the receiver, the message, and the noise. To get any point across, it starts with the sender. They have something to say. They're direct and concise to get their point across. The message brings this to the receiver's attention. Think of it like sending a letter. Somebody writes it because they want to get a message to a friend. A postal employee brings it to them, and they receive it and can send one right back, or they can just keep the letter. But that's when the noise comes in. Noise is any type of physical sound, like cars or TV. But it also includes people that talk with no intent, talking just to kind of hear their own voice. Now today, most people talking are just noise, which led Julian Treasure, the author of How to Be Heard, and another speaker on the topic, to tell his audience that we are losing our hearing. He didn't mean this literally, of course. He just meant that there aren't as many people using effective communication. Today, to help dampen the noise, here are my tips to be a better listener. Tip number 1, show engagement. Whether it's a head nod, a smile, raise of the eyebrows, just something to react to what someone's saying, because it shows how much you're listening to what they have to say. 2 is to practice non-judgment. So often people interject their judgy comments and it kind of ends a conversation before it even has the chance to begin. 3 is to tolerate silence. Not every space needs to be filled with your voice. You can just kind of wait it out and hear the silence. Tolerating it is an acquirable skill and not enough people have it. 4 is to paraphrase. When someone's done talking, you can just kind of recite a little bit of what they said back to them. And that kind of helps them know that you were listening and you took in what they said. And then 5 is to ask questions. It shows how much you listen to them and also kind of branches off of that paraphrasing, where instead of repeating what they said back to them, you can even learn more than you knew before about what they said and about them as a person. Now, even though people know these tips and how to listen, they're born knowing it, there are still mistakes being made every day. One of the biggest mistakes is that people will daydream, let their mind wander. In an article done by Microsoft, in the year 2000, our attention span was 12 seconds long. Now, 2 decades later, it's down to 8 seconds. To put that into perspective, a goldfish's attention span is 9 seconds long. That's longer than us. So it's now more important than ever to practice effective communication and active listening. Another mistake that can be made is when you're listening to someone, you're kind of trying to figure out what you're going to say next. You're waiting for when your turn comes. But the way to combat this is to just wait until it's your turn and just respond to what they're saying. Keep it casual, keep it nice. It doesn't have to be perfect. And the last mistake that goes along with that is trying to form some idealized outcome of the entire conversation. You're not trying to figure out what you're going to say next. You're looking to the very end till when you can be done talking and leave. You don't want to wait for that. You want to be a part of it, you want to be present and enjoy the moment. But the best way to enjoy the moment is to be self-aware. Self-awareness isn't about how you're acting, it's about how you can influence other people and what your impact has on them. Now, another mistake is that people think that listeners are introverted, that they are more self-focused and that they want to spend time alone. And that's not always true. But even with these mistakes come the benefits that make it well worth the effort. So, the biggest benefit to any form of communication is getting more social networks and more friends. You have more friends to branch out from, and you know that you have people there that will listen to you. They want to be your friend because you'll listen to what they have to say. It's statistically proven that listeners have higher grades and more academic achievements overall. Mental health is also proven to be better and overall well-being. Also, new perspectives you'll get from it, good advice, new ideas, new opportunities, and knowing other people's well-being and how they're doing. And now you know all there is to know. You know how to listen, the mistakes to avoid, and the benefits you'll get from listening. But in the end, it's not about that. It's not about you. It's not about the person you're listening to. It's about just being there, being in the moment. So as you leave today, you go on with the rest of your life, know it's always okay to just be there. Thank you.